What's up guys? I don't normally do reviews. The last review that I did was on the boosted board version 2 and it got a lot of ratings and everybody said to do some more reviews. So I bring you the Phantom 4. This was my first drone ever. I got this about 5-6 months ago. Absolutely love the thing. I've shot so much footage with it. I've added so much footage to my vlogs with it. Until today, when the Mavic came. I've never seen anything like this. The fact that you can have all the features that are in this Phantom 4 in this tiny little body is just insane to me. I mean, look at the size of the remote. This controller is smaller than my PlayStation 4 remote. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. It's very simple to set up. You just pull out the bottom pieces here, slide up and out the antennas, and you're pretty much set up. I have the iPhone 7 Plus, and it does fit in here just fine. One downside that I just realized though, is that I have the Apple branded leather case, and it doesn't fit inside of here. So that kind of sucks. I have to take my phone out of the case every single time I want to go take the Mavic out. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, look how fast I just took it off, but it is one thing to think about. The iPhone is now attached to the remote, and this would be your display to watch what you're viewing from the camera. This is the display up top for showing all your features, the flight altitude, all the important flight information, so you don't have to clutter up this screen here. It feels great in the hands. You have your C1 and C2 buttons here like you would on the other Phantom remotes, and then also your toggle here for your ISO, as well as your dial for moving the camera gimbal up and down. Much different than this thing, and it's lighter too. Next is the drone itself. I mean, come on guys, look at the size of this thing. This is the case for my iPhone 7. I mean, come on, look at that. This thing is small. So very simple to set up. Fold out the front arms, fold down the rear arms, and you're ready to go. What I really like about this is DJI added this little dome covering here. It's basically like a safety case for the camera itself so that it protects the gimbal and the camera while you're traveling. So that's really cool. The other thing that I noticed they added, which wasn't in a lot of the reviews and production samples that they sent people, was that this plastic piece now has a gray rubberized coating over top of it. One, that's probably so that the plastic doesn't get scratched up when you're putting it in and out of bags and things are hitting it. Two, I'm sure a lot of people were flying with this still on. So when it was clear, you weren't sure, some people weren't sure whether to take it off or not. Now they have this on here, so obviously you know to take it off. There's also, if you see here, there's a little gimbal clamp, and that's just to secure the gimbal during travel. Take that out, it's just a piece of plastic and you can put it right back in. Next up is the camera. This is a 3-axis gimbal. It's the smallest gimbal DJI has ever made. I believe it's the smallest gimbal on the market right now. And it has the same exact camera and sensor that the Phantom has. So that's really cool. The downside, the Mavic has a more narrow field of view. But from the footage that I've seen, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. Okay, so before I go fly it outdoors, I want to try the VPS, the Vision Positioning System flying, so that it knows where it is without GPS signal. So you can fly it indoors and it's supposed to be like perfectly stable the entire flight. So let's test this out right now. I got it here, it's all set up, we're ready to go. Wow. It's quiet. I think it's really quiet. And look at it, it's just sitting there. I'm not doing anything, it's just hovering indoors, no GPS signal. Nuts. That is nuts. Guys, you don't understand how easy that was to fly in here with no GPS signal. Like normally with the Phantom, if you don't have GPS signal, it's gonna start drifting like you're flying in ATTI mode. This thing was just like, no problems, flew it forward and back as you saw. Wow, this is a game changer. So I'm just doing some charging here before I take it out. As you can see, it tells you the percentage that it's charging, and you just plug it in with the USB connector that they provide, and you can plug it in and charge both your battery and the remote at the same time. All right, now to fly it outdoors and give it the true test. So this is the coolest part about this drone. I have all my gear situated for the day, the normal stuff that I bring with me. Take the drone, put it in the bag, take the remote, put it in the bag, and I'm done. It's that simple, and now we're ready to go. So now I'm going to try the obstacle avoidance. It has the same obstacle avoidance that the Phantom has. We're going to test that right now. And as you can see, it just stopped. Again, I'll do it one more time. And it won't come near me. Okay, so we're going to try the return to home feature, which is just a simple press of this button right here on the remote, and it should come right back to where it took off. So it's coming home. It's going up to a safe altitude first. Return to home feature worked perfectly fine. Now let's test a couple other features. Okay, so now it's in active track mode. Now it's following me wherever I go. That works pretty good. So I'm gonna do gesture mode now, and this is a way for it to track me. So all you do is make a movement, the camera will track you, and then once it tracks you, you can make hand gestures for it to do things. So the first thing I'm gonna do is have it take a photo. I'm gonna put the remote down, I'm gonna wave, it tracked me. Every little thing that they thought of on this remote is really cool. When you collapse it, and you collapse the antennas here, the antennas click into each other. So they're perfectly aligned and they don't come out when you're traveling. So I mean, just the little touches really make this remote killer. All right, so I'm taking the same exact flight path that I did with the Mavic, so we'll compare the video. Okay, so we just got back for the first test flight of the Mavic, and I gotta say, the thing is remarkable. I mean, it's really the best drone out there in my opinion. I mean, the size of all this stuff is just, it's old, it's outdated now. I mean, this just changed everything. If you're into professional photography and videography, this might be your best bet because it is a little bit more of a professional drone. But I really think you can get away with this. And if you are into photography and videography and things like that, then you already have a ton of gear. You don't want to bring another box or another bag or something else to carry all this other stuff with you. This can just already fit in your current gear. So that's a big factor. Not only just the form factor and how small it is, the stability of the flight is almost better than the Phantom. I mean, the Phantom, this thing is a beast, this thing is amazing, and I love it. But there's something about the Mavic, it just feels different when you're flying it. It just feels much more stable and precise. But if you're on the fence between the Phantom and the Mavic, I would personally say this is the choice. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with it. It's so small, it's so compact, so easy to use. You're gonna love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, click the thumbs up button down below. I'd appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and you've never been here before, I make vlogs and videos every week, and I'm gonna start doing these reviews more often because everybody likes them. The hover camera is gonna be delivered, I think, next week, so I'm gonna be doing a review on that as well, and that should be really fun to play with. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video. See ya!